Hello, my name is Emin Agaev. I work for EUROSPINE and I'm welcoming you to the short tutorial on how to submit data for the Spine Atlas initiative via the Spine Tango Registry. So the Spine Atlas initiative is the international global initiative which will be explaining in detail. If you need more information about this initiative, please go to our web page, which is the www.eurospine.org/spineatlas. You can find there the study protocol and all required information, as well as downloads and also templates. I will just summarize the key information, which is the target population for the current data call. It is degenerative cervical myelopathy, which is also the observation period is between February and May 2026. And which I would like also to summarize is the data submission options. You can submit the data actually by Excel file under the downloads on EUROSPINE's Spine Atlas webpage. Under downloads, you can find the template, Excel template, and use it. You can submit data also via a database export. This option is the one which is appropriate for registries, for national registries, but also in cases if you have your own database. Or you can use, for example, Spine Tango Registry to enter your data, which is also a very simple way to do so and has additional benefits like participation in the registry gives you the possibility to receive reports, access the international data, etc., etc. So I'll present today this approach very quickly. But before we go to the live demonstration, two more slides. The first one is what data are expected. This is the overview about the parameters, mandatory and optional parameters for the current data call. So it's patient age at the therapy date. It is patient gender, surgery date or the date of non-surgical treatment. It's previous surgery at the same or adjacent level, yes, no. It is duration of symptoms, level of compression, treatment approach, surgical approach, if any, pre-operative MJOR scores, which are patient-reported scores. I'll come back to this later. And the treatment type. And then under the optional parameters, we have additional spinal pathology, assay status, number of previous spine surgeries at the same or adjacent level, height and weight, smoking status, and if any data on the implants. And this data can be entered in the Spine Tango Registry via the dedicated surgery form or non-surgical treatment form. And for the patient-reported information, patient-reported MJOR, we have a standalone MJOR form, which is quite a short instrument. Now, if you are already registered participants, just simply register your DCM cases and use MJOR if you use it. And if you are new to Spine Tango, you would need to register yourself first. We have 3 simple steps to do so. We just need to know from whom is the registration request coming, so that can be set to us or sent to us using the user registration form. And then we need the participant to sign the general terms and conditions, so you can download, check it, for example, by your legal department, and if you agree, sign it and send that to us by email, or do that online. There is a link here. And this is basically quite simple, although legal checks of the general terms and conditions may require some time on your side. That's possible. And after your registration, you can already enter your DCM cases and collect data. Now I'm going to switch to the web application of the Spine Tango Registry, which is spinetango.online. You can choose your language here. We have multiple languages available right now. I'm entering my username and password. And because I'm accessing several departments, or I have rights in several departments, I can choose between the one where I would like to add my data now. But for most of you, you have access only to one single department, and you would be directed to it directly without this step. And here we see the dashboard of the web application with the key functions like search, add patient, data export, online stats, reports, etc. And there are some more functions in this horizontal bar menu. And today we will only look at the function how to add patient and data. So for this I'm going to click on this add patient button here, and I will be see this data entry mask to enter my case. I can only enter the data of a patient if the patient has consented to this. So if there is no consent, I guess I can maybe still track the patient number, but I can't enter any data. So you would be required, of course, to inform your patient first that the data are sent to the Spine Tango Registry, and then if the patient consents to this, you can enter your patient here, which I'm doing now for my hypothetical testing patient. I don't have to enter any names, but I'm required to enter the birth date, and you can do that in different ways, manually or out of the calendar here. Then the gender, and for most of you, the electronic prompts functions will be preset of inactive. Here in my testing clinic, we used to present the electronic prompts function, which means that the system can send out automatically electronic prompts, but need to know the email address or mobile phone number and the language of the patient. But for this tutorial, I will just do an exception here and say that there is no e-prompts to be sent out. And this is how I added the patient to the registry. Now I would like to add the clinical data. For this, I'm clicking here on the add new case. The system will show me all the available forms from which I can choose. And for the Spine Atlas, you would need to enter either a conservative form, which is here on this list, or a surgical form, which are here on the list. But because we have some hospitals using older form versions for research purposes, for example, entering some data from the past times, we still have those forms here on the list. But we would strongly recommend to use the latest form versions, which are here. Excuse me. The difference between the extended and not extended form is that the not extended one is the short form, which we do recommend. It is a bit easier for you to fill it in. And the extended form has a bit 20% more questions and answers. And farther down on the list, you have also other forms, and you have here the modified duo form. If you want, you can use also additional other forms. You are free to do so. But for the Spine Atlas, we would need you to use the short form here, the short surgery form, or the conservative treatment form, and MGO form if you use it in your unit. Now I will demonstrate how to use. Maybe I'll start with the MGO form because it's very quick to show. So double click on this form, and this form will be added to the patient. Now you have to choose the treatment date and the interval. So in the Spine Atlas, you are expected to submit the before surgery or before treatment evaluation. And here are the possible answers for the motor dysfunction of the upper extremity. And here are the options for the motor dysfunction of the lower extremity, sensation, and sphincter. If you now save it, the overall score is calculated, and you can submit this form, and then the MJOA data were entered. And now I'll show you how to submit the clinical data on the treatment. I'm going to click on the case overview. A few seconds until the system will show me all forms which this patient has. So this case has for the moment only the MJOA, and this is in the submitted status. Now I'm clicking on this symbol here to add additional forms, and I'll demonstrate you the surgical form, the short one, which is this one, which I was already showing. And we have this data matrix here with at the moment 3 subforms. There are some validation rules behind, so if I'll forget something or will try to enter data in a wrong format, in a wrong way, the system would make it visible for me. So for the degenerative cervical myelopathy, the main pathology will be degenerative disease. I click on it, and then the system asks me to select between the primary and the secondary type of degeneration. The primary type of degeneration is the one which is the primary indication for surgery, which you as a surgeon is trying to treat. And the secondary one is the one which is of a less priority for your treatment. For example, in degenerative myelopathy cases, you would probably choose the myelopathy as one of the key priorities that you're trying to address in your surgery. And if there are any additional degeneration you want to select, you can do so in this multiple choice question here. Then the system asks you about the extent of surgery. Let's go for one segment surgery. Number of previous spinal surgeries at the same or adjacent level. Let's go for 0. We can estimate the height and weight of the patient, and the system calculates the BMI. And you can also answer the smoking status here. I'm saving this subform or this case, the surgery date, surgeon name in this test clinic, surgeon credentials. I choose between board certified or in training and instructed. Morbidity state, this no one has a classification. And if there are implants, I can go for implants documentation. If there are no implants, I answer no implants. Let me demonstrate how the implant documentation is working. So I'm clicking on the minimal registration here. And I choose the surgical axis, for example, the anterolateral, general anesthesia. And now I'm documenting the implants, which I can do by searching the database or by typing into this field, and I'm adding the products here then as many as I feel are required because used during surgery. Finally, I'm asked to fill in the last page, which is the type of treatment. So assuming I'll go for a fusion, I'll do a discectomy, and I'm choosing the level and selecting the type of fusion, the type of fusion material which was used, and the level. And if there was no further surgical measures, no rigid stabilization, no deformity correction, no motion preserving stabilization, and no other surgical measures, I'm just clicking them out. And if there were no complications, I'm confirming that there were no complications, and then the case is basically also complete and can be submitted, which is just happening. So this is basically an overview. You can actually also print your case here. This is an overview, so we submitted the short form, surgical short form, and the ENJOY, and this way the case was documented. If you have some experience with the documentation, you would be probably much quicker. For the first few patients, you may need, I would say, about 5 minutes maybe to document them. Hopefully not more. Yes, and with time it probably will be much quicker. For ENJOY, you can also use a paper form. There are PDFs available online. You can Google it. There is no restrictions for the use of paper forms, so you can find any of them, any of the PDFs online and use it for your patients. And if you have additional questions, do not hesitate to contact us. You can do that either via the Spine Atlas or via the Spine Tango Registry directly. And I wish you good luck for your data collection. Thank you for your attention and goodbye.